55 millibars. And here are the current warnings and watches that we have for you. Obviously, with the hurricane hardly moving, most of the hurricane warnings remaining up, with just a little tip there of the, I guess, Western Virgin Islands. They're still under some tropical storm advisories as well. Well, with it stalled, Puerto Rico is still feeling some of the effects of the storm. One person in San Juan died when he fell off a ladder while he was boarding up a building. Nearly 100,000 people on the island are without power and water. And Wanda Del Toro with the International Red Cross tells us what is being done to help those victims there.
There are still 15 shelters open and more than 200 people in shelters. Our damage assessment teams are determining the extent of damages to homes so we can prepare the integrated service delivery plan to assist families affected by the Hurricane Lenny and to help them in their prompt recovery and so they can get on with their own lives.
And in St. Martin, recently reported wind gust 108 miles an hour, and in St. Bartholomew, reported a wind gust of 124 miles an hour. And with the hurricane hardly moving, that is not painting a pretty picture. Let's get the latest on this hurricane and where we think it's going with our hurricane expert, Dr. Steve Lyons.
Well, thanks, Jim. And you just heard the wind gusts that reported at St. Bart's and also St. Martin. Very high wind gusts, very dangerous conditions there. But remember, high and dry is better than low and wet because water is what usually kills you. Now let's look at the latest large-scale visible satellite imagery. You can see a very large area of cloud, and that's all precipitating in some form or other, in other words, raining. And those higher elevations are going to have the highest rain and the highest wind as well. Now the hurricane reconnaissance is out there, and they just found a pressure of 966 millibars. That's up 11 millibars from what you just saw in the advisory. So it does look like the system is weakening a little bit, and the winds may be dropped down a little bit from what they were earlier, but still very strong gusty winds, especially in the higher elevations of some of the island chains. Now here you can see the radar out of San Juan, the circulation center, very close to St. Martin right now. St. Bart's is just to the southeast. Can't draw it on the image, but it's just over to the southeast there. And both of those are getting the brunt of the strong winds there. Again, the southeast quadrant of the circulation is the strongest quadrant. Also, heavy rain coming into Puerto Rico again, and they don't need any more rain. It's already potentially flooding in some of the river basins there. And remember, there's a lag between the flooding in the rivers and when the rain actually occurs. Now, we have a wind velocity profile from the Doppler radar on top of the Coqui rainforest in Puerto Rico, and you can see there's still some very strong winds over Puerto Rico in the higher elevations. You can see up here the outbound winds on the order of 20 to 30 knots, maybe even tropical storm force. So very gusty winds in association with the rain shower activity over the next 12 hours over Puerto Rico. But most of the nasty stuff is well off to the east now, and also keep in mind it'll be in the higher elevations for heavy rain and higher elevations for the strongest winds, and very, very persistent rain over the next 12 hours. We'll keep you informed. Now let's get back to the studio with Rich.